Welcome back to Midwest Access. I'm meteorologist Sarah Gannon with a look at your upcoming forecast. We're tracking the next big thing, and that is some thunderstorm activity on the way. So let's take a look at what's in store. We're looking at some quiet conditions here to kick off your Wednesday morning. However, the big focus will be towards Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours as we watch for a line of some scattered thunderstorm activity to move through. There's a concern for some heavy rainfall in the region, but also the concern for maybe some stronger thunderstorms to rumble through. So right now we're looking at timing wise anywhere from around 4 o'clock in the afternoon through about say 9-10 o'clock in the evening. So more of a later day event. And like I said, the morning parts of the day will start off very quiet. So let's break down more of those forecast details. Looking at that severe storm outlook, we have a level 2 out of a level 5 severe threat over a good chunk of southern Minnesota here, northern Iowa. And again, this is for your Wednesday. So this is mainly where we have the better chance of seeing some strong to severe thunderstorm activity. But with that, also concern for some heavy rainfall. And again, over portions of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, including areas south of I-90 that were hit pretty hard last week with heavy rainfall. Sounds like some of these thunderstorms could be some efficient rainmakers, and if they decide to kind of slow down or we see continual thunderstorm activity over repeat areas, that could lead to the concern for maybe some flash flooding in some localized areas. And again, not good news, especially for areas that were already hit pretty hard last week with some heavy rainfall and flooding concerns. So let's put things into motion here with Future Track. We'll start things off here about 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. So notice morning hours, very quiet. There's a chance maybe some Riverside counties here could get clipped with a few thunderstorms that rumble through the Wisconsin side. But for the most part, area-wide, we're pretty dry. So we'll continue on from about 6 a.m. here. Morning hours looking very quiet. Increased cloud cover, maybe a couple sprinkles due to some dying thunderstorms around the lunch hour. But from there, still pretty quiet. Concern then starts bringing in after about 2 o'clock. We'll start to see maybe some stray showers. Though looking to move in after about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. From there, we could be looking at that heavy rainfall. Some strong winds will be the primary threat after that, in addition to that heavy rainfall concern. But we'll see more thunderstorm activity continuing into the evening hours. I think most of that activity out of here by about 7 o'clock or so. However, we still could be looking at some very stray thunderstorms kind of lingering around past that. From there, things looking a lot quieter after about 9-10 o'clock in the evening, heading into midnight. Again, still looking at some quieter conditions. So tomorrow morning hours looking dry and quiet. We do bring in that scattered thunderstorm threat for the area after about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. Temperatures tomorrow into those 80s, still pretty humid as well. We'll take a look at that 10-day forecast as we track temperatures pretty comfortable through the end of the week, and then things getting mighty hot. Upper 80s expected for high temperatures with plenty of widespread sun later next week. Let's look at your First Alert weather.
Check on your First Alert forecast on Midwest Access.
Forecast looking to be a little stormy here as we head into Wednesday, mainly for the afternoon and evening hours. So morning hours looking pretty dry and quiet, continuing to see maybe a few lingering showers and storms into early Thursday. From there, temperatures really heating up next week. And we are keeping an eye on thunderstorm chances for the area on Wednesday. Those latest First Alert forecast details are coming up. Things pretty quiet out there today. However, a bit more of an active pattern on the way for tomorrow. So let's talk about the next big thing as we track some thunderstorm activity in the area for your Wednesday. We are looking to see here. Oh, my clicker's not wanting to work, so apologies here. We'll see if a different button. No, all right, hold on, guys. We are continuing to track thunderstorm chances for the area here heading into tomorrow. So we are looking at the chance for maybe some strong activity here in southern Minnesota and at northern Iowa as we look at latest look there at your Storm Prediction Center, looking at a level 2 out of a level 4 severe threat for the area. Some heavy rainfall may be a concern tomorrow as well. Not good news for folks that have already seen so much rainfall just in the past week. So looking ahead to tomorrow, not a complete washout, some showers looking to arrive after the lunch hour. So morning time period looking dry and quiet. We just bring in that thunderstorm activity for the afternoon and evening. So monitoring things very closely. No First Alert day yet. Keeping an eye, though, on that concern for those severe potential tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
We are keeping an eye on the threat for some thunderstorm activity in the area tomorrow. So let's talk about the next big thing. Looking at that timing for rainfall tomorrow, morning hours looking quiet. We may even see some sunshine, especially for that morning commute. A quiet start to the day, warm, and then we look ahead to those thunderstorm concerns later in the day. So mainly after the lunch hour, I think we have a chance for some thunderstorms to rumble through. Better chance for some later evening concerns for some stronger activity to move through. We will look at some scattered storms for the area. Heavy rainfall will be a concern in addition to the threat for some strong to damaging winds, maybe some hail possible, and I can't quite rule out maybe a spin-up tornado or two. So let's take a look at the latest severe storm outlook. You can see the level 2 threat highlighting here across much of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. That level 2 threat there in the yellow, level 1 threat in the green. This is where we have that better potential of maybe seeing some of that strong to severe thunderstorm activity. As I mentioned, heavy rainfall will be a concern for the region. Portions of southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, mainly along the I-35 region and east. Looking at that level 2 threat for excessive rainfall. So heavy rain, strong winds will be our primary concerns throughout tomorrow. So let's put things into motion with Future Track. Overnight, things looking on the quiet side. We bring in that thunderstorm activity, though. Well, looks like Future Track got away from me. But after lunch hour, we'll look at some storms rumbling through. Then we bring in a late night chance here towards Wednesday evening. And I think both opportunities looking to pose a threat for some heavy rain and those strong winds for the area. Tomorrow as a whole, we'll recap the day looking at morning dry conditions here before the lunch hour, afternoon, evening hours, looking at the better possibility of some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity. Temperatures tomorrow climbing into those lower to mid 80s here for us in southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. 7-day forecast for Mankato here. Looking at some heat then on the way by this weekend and into next week. A stretch of some 90-degree high temperatures on the way. I'll look at that 10-day forecast for the Rochester area. No first alert day for tomorrow. Continuing to monitor that severe potential for tomorrow. Looks rather sparse in manner, but monitoring very closely. But the big thing after our storms tomorrow, looking at some hot conditions next week.
Hoping that there's not too much rain tomorrow. We've already gotten a lot.
There's especially south of I-90 seen quite a bit of rain. So we don't need a double dose of heavy rainfall.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
We are keeping an eye on some thunderstorms for portions of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa tomorrow afternoon and evening. Not a complete washout. Keeping an eye on some dry conditions for the morning, but we will be looking to bring in those thunderstorm chances later in the day. Some heavy rainfall, strong winds will be our primary concerns. And then we're looking ahead to some hot temperatures next week. Those first alert details are next. Today, a beautiful day out there. However, things changing heading into our Wednesday. Let's talk about the next big thing. Thunderstorms on the way for the region. Tomorrow morning, a quiet start to the day. No need for the umbrella at all. We will be looking at some partly cloudy conditions, a warm start to the day, and then we'll look to see some thunderstorm activity arriving later into the afternoon and especially into the evening hours. Looking at some scattered activities, so some heavy rainfall and even some strong to damaging winds may be a concern as well. Let's take a look at that severe storm outlook as we do have a level 2 threat for severe activity over portions of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, mainly in the I-35 region and east. Folks towards Mankato, you can see in the green under a level 1 out of a level 5 severe threat. Wind will be the primary concern, followed by some hail may be possible as well in some locations. We also are keeping an eye on a tornadic threat, low but not zero, so monitor the potential of maybe a quick spin of tornado or two here with this system. We're also keeping an eye on areas east of the I-35 region where we have a level 2 out of a level 4 risk for excessive rainfall. So heavy rainfall also a concern here with those storms tomorrow. Some efficient rainmakers are expected, and if we see continual thunderstorm activity over repeat areas, we then look at the concern for maybe some flash flooding, similar to last week, but I don't think we're quite expecting 8 to 9 inches, but still something to monitor very closely, especially in those areas already very saturated still from last week. So let's put things into motion here with Future Track. Starting at 6 a.m., we'll start to see some thunderstorm activity west of I-35. We'll look to see some of that activity for the morning hours. Areas east of I-35, not really expecting to see any activity until after the lunch hour. So areas west of I-35, more so for the morning. Areas east, after the lunch hour. We'll look to see kind of a first wave move through, and timing a little different than how it looked earlier today. We could get a couple-hour break there. Then as we move into the late night towards 9, 10 o'clock, starting to see additional thunderstorm redevelopment. That will move through, exiting early Thursday morning. So a chance here at some dry conditions tomorrow morning. A little stormy by the afternoon into the evening hour, and we may see some lingering shower and thunderstorm activity into early Thursday. So look at that 7-day forecast for Mankato. Things getting quite hot heading into the weekend and next week. Temperatures tracking into those lower 90s in the Rochester area after a stormy Wednesday afternoon and evening into early Thursday. We also look to see more sun, so some dry conditions on the way next week, especially with more of that heat on the way too. That humidity, though, I don't think we're quite done with it. Just that time of year.
Looks like we'll finally have a good week to dry out for a little bit.
Yes, and we need that.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Here's one more look at that 10-day forecast. Keeping an eye on some thunderstorm activity here for your Wednesday afternoon and evening. Some lingering showers and storms into early Thursday morning. From there, a dry weekend in store. We're also keeping an eye on early next week. Some hot temperatures on the way as highs approach the upper 80s, maybe nearing that 90-degree mark. Will be a little toasty and dry next week, but monitoring the potential for some strong winds and some heavy rainfall tomorrow with the thunderstorms that will go through.
It's going to be certainly warm, but we need the temperatures to dry out.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 9.
We are keeping an eye on some thunderstorm activity possible for your Wednesday. The morning hours looking dry and quiet. It'll be more so towards the afternoon and evening that we have those concerns. There is a level 2 out of a level 5 severe threat over portions of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. A good chunk here of the KTTC viewing area, so monitoring that concern for some strong to damaging winds, maybe some small hail, but also the concern of maybe a low tornadic threat. Low, not zero, maybe a couple spin-up tornadoes may be possible there, but primarily wind and heavy rainfall will be the concern tomorrow. As you can see with our excessive rainfall outlook, not good news for southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, especially areas that were already hit pretty hard last week. It sounds like we could be looking at some efficient rainmakers as thunderstorms rumble through. So if we do see continual thunderstorm activity over the same region, looking at that possibility, maybe some flash flooding if we do see some heavy rainfall. Monitoring that for tomorrow. So tomorrow's outlook, dry in the morning. We are gearing up, though, for afternoon into the evening hours. That concern for scattered showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures will be seasonal into those lower to mid 80s tomorrow, so that won't necessarily be the problem. But we'll take a look at timing here with our latest model trends coming up in your First Alert forecast.
All right, Sarah, thank you so much.
We continue to keep an eye on storm concerns for the area for your Wednesday. The morning hours looking dry and quiet as we start to head out the door. Temperatures looking mild into the 70s to kick off the day. Warming into the 80s by the afternoon. Monitoring those thunderstorm chances for the afternoon and evening hours. Heavy rainfall and some strong winds will be main concerns for the area. Latest details and a look at latest model guidance coming in your First Alert forecast next.
First Alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
We have been keeping an eye on some active weather for our Wednesday. Let's talk about the next big thing. Gearing up for the chance that maybe some strong thunderstorms possible as well as these thunderstorms rumble through. Storm Prediction Center does have much of the KTTC viewing area under a level 2 out of a level 5 severe threat. You can see that highlighted here in the yellow. The green just off to our north and to our west is a level 1 out of a level 5 severe threat. So locally, strong winds would be our primary concern. Maybe the possibility on the lower end for some hail. Also keeping an eye on the possibility of maybe a quick spin-up tornado or two. Overall tornadic threat is low, but not zero, so monitoring that concern. The other concern, aside from the strong winds, is going to be the risk for some heavy rainfall. Notice our excessive rainfall outlook here, also including a good chunk of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. We're in that level 2 out of a level 4 risk. Not good news, as portions of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa have already seen so much rainfall last week. If we have efficient rainmakers with these thunderstorms that rumble through tomorrow and even see back-to-back thunderstorms over the same areas, could lead to the possibility of maybe some flash flooding. So not good news for areas already hit hard last week. Hopefully we can see these storms move out quick so we don't have that concern for that flooding risk. Let's time things out here with Future Track, though. We'll start off 6 a.m. for your Wednesday mornings as you're heading out the door. No need for the umbrella. Dry conditions to kick off the day as we inch closer to the lunch hour, especially 11 o'clock noon. Could be looking at some storms developing off to our western edge. There's some showers north of Highway 14. Storm timing a little bit earlier here and maybe 2 possible rounds with thunderstorm activity. So this is the latest guidance here, a little different than what we showed earlier in the day. So as we move into the early afternoon, we'll see these thunderstorms kind of rumble through the Rochester area by about 12:30, 1 through about 2 2 o'clock, and we'll kind of see that first round finish up by about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. From there, potentially a quieter evening hour, but we will look at about 9 o'clock or so, another round of some thunderstorm activity coming through. This will pull north here, moving east, kind of staying south of the I-90 corridor through about midnight, and then we'll see some showers and thunderstorms kind of lingering into early Thursday morning. From there, things look a lot quieter and drier heading into next week. So recapping here, a quiet start to the day, and then we bring in some afternoon and evening shower and thunderstorm concerns for the region. 10-day forecast here for the Rochester area, kind of holding off on a first alert day for tomorrow. Still some uncertainty on how strong those thunderstorms will be tomorrow, but notice temperatures really climbing heading into next week. Upper 80s, some low 90s possible next week.
Hoping we don't get too much rain tomorrow night.
Yeah, we don't need a lot more, that's for sure.
No, we don't.
Mother Nature has been very generous recently.
She has, yes.
Calm it down just a little bit.
All right, we'll be right back.
Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for Austin, Mason City, and Winona. Thunderstorm chances on the way for tomorrow afternoon and evening hours. Main concerns would be for strong to damaging winds and some heavy rainfall, but we can't quite rule out the possibility of maybe a little bit of some hail and maybe a quick spin-up tornado or two. Tornadic threat overall is low, but not zero. Past our thunderstorm threat Wednesday into Thursday early morning, we look at some warming conditions heading into this weekend, some sunshine, but things really getting hot early next week. Highs into the upper 80s, maybe approaching that low 90 mark. Here's one more look at that 10-day forecast, tracking some shower and thunderstorm activity for the area on your Wednesday afternoon and evening. There may be a few lingering thunderstorms into early Thursday morning. From there, we just watch those temperatures climb, and climb. Upper 80s, maybe a shot at some low 90s possible by next week.
Lots of sunshine ahead.
Yeah, July is fastly going by. Where did it go?
Yeah.
I mean, summer in general, the start of
Yeah.
summer. That's my
The
point.
summer is flying by.
You got me, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah.